Yeah, I'm Denise. This is Liz, and we are in the bookseller at the Dover Public Library. And this is our very first podcast. We'd like to welcome you, and I am going to do some questions to Liz here. And please feel free to put some comments in there so that if you like this and you want us to do more, then we can go from there. The bookseller, in case you don't know, is in the basement of the Dover Library, and it's open Wednesdays from 9 to noon and Saturdays 9 to noon. And they have all kinds of books. I'm going to scoot out a little bit. You can see some behind me. I have gotten Christmas books for birthday books for my family here. So it's in excellent condition, and you never know what you're going to find. So it's always good to check here in the bookseller. Liz is our teen librarian, and I'm going to ask her a couple of questions. One is like, what are you reading now? Do you like it? And why?
Okay. I recently read this book. It's called Noragami. It's the 27th book. It's a manga series that we have in the teen room, and this is the last one. So they just finished it. It was very, very good. It was kind of sad because it was over, and I'm like, "Ah." So I'm going through and rereading Noragami from the beginning.
Now, what is manga, in case those that don't know it?
So manga is a type of graphic novel that is from Japan, and it goes backwards. So you read it backwards. And it takes a little bit of getting used to, but they're really good, and you can find some really interesting stories. Like we have A Silent Voice is another really good one, and there's like no magic or anything in that one. That one's like a real story. This one has a little bit of magic. This is forgotten his name already. This is Yato, and he is a minor deity. He's a minor god, and it's all about him trying to like earn money and afford his own temple and get a shrine and get followers, and he ends up doing like odd jobs and putting his number up everywhere all over town, and he does things like find stray cats or help people out fixing their cars, and that's how it starts, and it's really good. I like it because it's funny. There's a little bit of magic, but not too much, and I've been following it from the beginning, so it's very good.
Show the pages again. Um, don't doesn't make you when you see black and white like that? Don't you want to get your colored pencils and color it in?
Don't you dare.
I do. When I see stuff like that, it's like, oh, I color it in. I just finished reading uh, Battle Mountain by C.J. Box,
Okay.
and I don't remember the number but it's a continuing story about a guy, Joe Pickett, and he's a Wyoming game warden. And I like it, like you like these type of books. You pick it up and it's like your old friends, you know?
Mhm.
You remember what happened in the past and you see how they grow and things like that. I think that's fascinating. Um, what was the best book that you read last year? Do you remember?
Last year,
2024.
2024.
Well, you're thinking about it. I read The Burning by Linda Castillo. That was really good. And that is, again, a continuation of a story. I also read The Life We Bury by Alan Eskins, and that made me read everything that he has ever written. Really, really good story.
Okay.
And it's about a young man who, as a college class, he has to interview somebody that's much older. So he
Mm.
goes to a convalescent home and he interviews this man who is dying of cancer, who has been in prison most of his life. And then this fellow decides he is going to see if this guy really committed the crime because he said he's innocent.
Mm.
And that's how the book starts. And this young man's got a brother who's got is on the spectrum, and the love that he shows between him and his brother is really nice, and it's an excellent story. So I recommend that one highly. So did you
Yeah.
think of a book you read last year that you really, really liked?
I'm not sure it was last year, but I really, really liked, I can see it in my head and it's gone. Really, really liked
Was it a
The
book?
Firekeeper's Daughter. Yeah, The Firekeeper's
Oh,
Daughter.
yeah.
And the sequel,
That's a Native American story, isn't it?
hmm
Mhm.
and the sequel, Warrior Girl Unearthed. So it follows, um, it follows this young woman who is, well, the first one. It, the second one is a sequel, but it follows a completely different character. So I kind of look at it
Oh,
as more like a companion.
mhm,
And the first one, even though they're both in the teen room, the first one is almost not teen. It's almost like new adult or just straight adult. It's
mhm.
like it's mystery. It's very, very good, and I love them. And
And we have both those in the library
yeah,
here.
we
Hmm.
do
Hmm. Um, what do you do when you're in a reading slump?
crochet. Yeah, I look for like maybe I'll reread a book that I liked, or I'll go and listen to an audiobook instead, or I'll just see what's new and short and see what's interesting. 'Cause there's always something to
Yeah.
read.
Um, Speaking of audiobooks, I have the Libby app on my phone, and I'm
Mhm.
listening to a book um, called The Never Game, and it's by Jeffrey Deaver. And I was watching this television show, and at the beginning they have the credits. The show is called The Tracker, and
Mm.
it said based on Never Game by Jeffrey Deaver. And I went, what? And so I downloaded the book, and it's a bunch of stories that they're doing on TV, and it
That's cool.
pretty much follows the TV show because usually the book is better than the movie,
Yeah.
you know. But when I'm in a reading slump, I go to the YA section and it I can always find something there. I
Yeah.
found a YA book about this young kid named Mickey Boltelar, and it was written by Harlan Coben, and it made me read those three in the series, and then I ended up reading all of Harlan Coben's books.
Hmm.
And now he's on my fan page here at the library because
Yeah.
I liked it so much. But
Yeah.
that's what I do. I go to the YA section.
Well,
Yeah.
that's where I live, so
And we have the teen zone right behind us there. All
yeah,
right. Do you have a favorite author or a favorite series?
absolutely. So my favorite contemporary author is Meg Cabot. I She can write anything and I love it. She's hilarious. She's done supernatural fiction, she's done romance.
Mhm.
She wrote The Princess Diaries, which is what most people would know her from, but she's also written for adults as well. So you can find her in every section of the library and she's just awesome. I love her. And then my other favorite author is Jane Austen.
Oh, really? Thinking it would be Mindy McGinnis.
No,
Oh,
sorry.
she's on your list, though.
She's on my list. I do love
Yeah.
Minnie McGinnis too.
All right.
Like, but as far as like classic literature, it's Jane Austen. She's
Okay.
awesome too.
All right.
Pride and Prejudice.
I just got a book brand new from the library, and it's all about books that inspired her, women
Hmm,
who inspired her. So I haven't even started it yet, but it looks interesting.
cool.
So, all right. Oh, what makes you choose a book? Do you go by the cover?
Sometimes.
I do too, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Well, with,
Yes.
with authors, editors, whatever, publishers, they put a lot of thought into the cover, and like
Hmm.
that's why. Because even though we say don't judge a book by its cover, you do. So
Hmm.
it, yeah,
Yes.
that is
If it
kind of
has a dog on it, I'm going to pick it up and look at it, possibly
it.
read it. I think Mallory would choose one with a cat.
Hmm.
But yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Do you ever, uh, if a friend, if they recommend a book, do you ever go with it for sure? Or do you think,
Sometimes
depends on the friend?
it depends. It depends on the friend. It depends on what the book is. Because I don't read a lot of adult books. I read a lot of YA. So if it's YA, I will probably read it. If it's adult, maybe I'll get around to it. But
And for those that are listening that don't know what's YA, what does that YA mean?
young adult,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
so teen books.
Hmm.
So I like them because they tend to not take themselves too seriously, and a lot of other a lot of adult fiction takes itself a little seriously for me. The print also tends to be just a little bit bigger in young adult books. I don't know if you've noticed that, but it's a teeny bit bigger, and they also tend to be shorter. So
Oh,
tend to be, but then you get like the thick ones, and I stay away from those because I'm like, who has time for that?
I know there are a few teen books that are like huge phone books.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But they read them, and
Oh
I'm like,
yeah, they
more
do.
power to you.
Um, that series, that Twilight series, those were pretty big, thick, heavy books. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's interesting. The girls are really just devouring them, and then all of a sudden, boys started requesting them. They wanted to know what the girls were reading. I remember that. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Well, do you want to add anything more? You're getting ready for the summer reading program for the teens. You got
That's
some things
right.
in the works.
Yeah. Lots of things planned with the Maker Lounge. It's our mini
Mhm.
maker space upstairs. And yeah,
Okay. And if someone wants to use the maker space, they could contact you directly here at the library.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Or we have open hours Mondays, 1:30 to 5, and Wednesdays 2:30 to 6:30. So you can come and see what all of that is about. We have a sublimation printer, we have a large format printer, we have an X-Tool laser engraver, we have a Cricut, we have other crafty goodness in there. So just stop by and see me.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for today. But like I said, leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you'd like to have us talk about next time. And please recommend some books. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.